sisters, and others of all colors. Welcome back to another YouTube video. This time, this is part 2 of discipline and value. Alright? In this video, I figured I'd talk more about the specific qualities of value. Alright? What, not just what value is, and more about different kinds of value, but how value is understood and how it's perceived by you. How do you know you value something? You know you value something based off of the emotions that you get from the things that you value. Alright? You know something is valuable through emotions. Emotions tell you what's value, what's anti-value. That's the other topic of this video, what anti-value is, and then we're going to talk about relativity of value. Okay? So, emotions. So, like, positive emotions, or like your mind is like, oh, there's value here. Let's do that. Right? And there's different flavors of it. There's different flavors of, like, yeah, that's good. There's like, I'm trying to like decipher the flavors. There's like joy, like pure joy, right? You just feel like energetic and light. There's excitement, which is kind of like more future oriented. It's higher energy. It's like the inverse of anxiety, all right, in a way. There's like pure gratitude, which is a very powerful, strange state to experience. It's kind of like it feels like being like a star and like you're just emitting like positivity. You like you have this like light in you, and it's like there's like a gravity to everything. There's a gravity to giving, basically. That's how I would describe it. A lot of positive emotions are light and are easy. They feel good, right? Like the state of pure gratitude is yeah, it's very like when I was in that state of like pure gratitude, I felt like strongly compelled to give. Yeah. And to not just to give, but to like compliment and to just be nice. I felt internally motivated to be a good person when I was in that state, which you can achieve by gratitude journaling. Okay? Good old gratitude journaling. Anyways, I gotta go on the free will rant at some point. But anyways, we will get to that. Alright? Value. Okay. So there are different kinds of positive states, and as you know, there are different kinds of negative states. Like anxiety, as we mentioned, is kind of like the opposite. You're anticipating, instead of anticipating something good, you're anticipating bad. There's like pure sadness, which is a sense of loss. And there's also like general, like another positive state would be general happiness, which is like a sense of gaining. You know, it's just like it's kind of like it's basic, right? It's your basic like thing. It's your vanilla ice cream of positive emotions. Sadness is like your, vanilla ice cream of negative emotions, where it's like more flavors are added on top of that in order to give it a different sort of feeling. But then there's like sadness, which is like loss of value. Right? anger is one of those weird emotions where it's kind of like neutral. Anger is kind of like, I describe anger as powerlessness. You have something of value and you feel powerless. I would say it's a negative emotion because you feel powerless. The opposite of anger is power. Power is an emotional state that you can experience, okay? It's not when you have $1 million and you can pay someone to do your dishes, okay? That's an external thing, right? And there's a video on power out there, okay? Not out there, but like we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna get the whole club going crazy. But anyways, yeah. So there's emotions, right? Emotions are your value detectors. The next thing to detect in terms of like the next thing is we have to talk about like negative value, anti-value, okay? So for me, and anti-value is different for different people, right? For me, I find it easier to be hungry than a lot of people. I would say like that's my thing. Like I can go without food for a while due to growing up in certain conditions, and having to learn how to deal with the stressors of that stuff. So I'm just used to it, and it's again like there's more to talk about there where it's like, yeah, but I'm saying that there's value in it, even if like there is also anti-value. The anti-value is like, hey, I focused so hard that I forgot to eat. I put other things above my need to eat in this moment, which is actually, and again, like, anyways, whatever, right? I'm thinking another anti-value that's motivating me to draw all these caveats and argue with people I made up in my head is fucking the anti-value of the, what are they? The overly concerned individual, okay? That's a piece of anti-value for me. Because sometimes I often end up giving the reins to them. Or I'm like, I don't feel like I have the power there. But I do. I gotta learn that. I gotta figure that out. I gotta understand it before I can truly experience it, right? So, to understand anti-value, think of things that you don't want to do. To like things that you would like push away. Things you move away from, right? Maybe you're socially anxious and you have a lot of anti-value in social situations, like when it comes to talking to people, right? You can break that down and you can be like, okay, well, why do I not have anti-value, or why do I have anti-value there? And there's another exercise there's an exercise I have in the works. Well, yeah, I have a video on or something. Yeah, whatever. It's in the works. Trust me, you'll see it. You'll see it when you see it. All right. That's anti-value. Things that suck. The relativity of value is also important, right? Because we think about things like the opportunity cost of a thing. And sometimes things just aren't always what they seem. And then, in the sense that, like, what I perceive in one moment to be, like, not as valuable or potentially anti-value may not really be anti-value. It may not be what I think it is. It may not be as null. It might not be zero value. It might not be like a lot of value, right? But it might not be what I think it is, basically. And this is why it's this is why it's important to keep your ego in check when it comes to value, right? Even though value is a part of the ego. Anyways, we're going to talk about next time the internal nature of value, okay? And maybe talk about free will. Peace.